Let me get this set up. Here we go. All right, so today we are going to talk about solving equations. This is going to be the video that's going to explain it. So go to your school loop and find this link. Click on the link, and it'll bring you to section 2. It should say solving equations. It says directions: choose and solve one of the following 4 questions and submit the answer through the Remind app by sending a picture of your work. So if you want to, pause the computer right now and you can go through and look at the 4 different questions and see if you understand any of them, and you could solve that one and submit it. Or if you wanted to hear me explain each one of them, you can listen to me talk about each question. Or if you wanted to just hear me explain one question, you could fast forward through the video until I scroll down to that one question. So here's question 1, and I'll let you make the decision. The class was given the following isosceles triangle and asked to solve for the variable. Your classmate shows the following steps, but has solved the problem incorrectly. Find the error that was made and explain it, then answer the problem correctly. So here was our isosceles triangle. We have a 40, we have an x, and they wrote the equation 40 plus x equals 180. And then the next line, they got 2x equals 220. And then the next line, they got x equals 110. So you could draw this picture and show that work. And then in the next section, you would explain what the mistake was. And then in the third section of this problem, you would write the correct answer. And you would be done. Scrolling on to question number 2, it says Joan brought $23 with her to the county fair. She purchased a $6 t-shirt and now wants to buy some locally grown plants for $2.50 each. She came up with the inequality 23 is greater than or equal to $2.50p plus 6, and determined that she could purchase 7 locally grown plants. Is she correct? Explain why or why not. So you would write down the inequality and then determine whether she could buy 7 plants. That's question 2. For question 3, it says in her math class, Maria was asked to use the diagram and given angle measurements to solve for the variable k, as well as to determine the measurements in degrees of the angles. She created the equation 4k equals 14k. And when solved, had the solution k equals 0, but knows she is incorrect. And there are different measurements. You had 140 here, you had 4k for x, and I'll put my cursor on x. For y, you had 14k. For z, you had 2f. For a, you had 4h plus 20. For b, you had 3f minus 20. For c, you had 5h minus 10. And for d, you had m degrees. And she came up with 4k equals 14k. You got k equals 0. Then down here it says, based on your understanding of parallel lines and angle pair relationships, help her fix her mistake and explain to her what was not correct using math language. Math language would be congruent, supplementary, linear pairs. And then for letter B, it says, using the diagram, write an equation and solve for one of the following variables: variable f, variable h, or variable m. And you could find those variables right over here where my cursor is. There's an m and d, m, there's an h, there's an f, there's an h, there's an f. So utilize those. Okay, that's question 3. Is that question 3? Yeah, that's question 3. And then we go to question 4. Just using the diagram below and academic language, explain that x equals 7 using 2 different methods. In the word bank, use the following in your explanation. So triangle sum theorem, linear pair, exterior angle of a triangle, or supplementary angles. So you're going to use this diagram right here, and you are going to explain that x equals 7 using 2 different ways. And that's it. So again, go back, look at these, listen to my explanations. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. As always, I'm more than happy to help. And then submit one of these questions via the Remind app by taking a picture. Have a good one.